Part of what we're trying to introduce to our kind of production line is this sense of chance and experiment. That it can be a process which allows products to evolve. Factory as it might be is an installation that we're building in the courtyard at ADO. It consists of a simple steel skeleton structure, which over the course of a number of weeks is completed as a complete building. And that process is done by the building itself, so that we've installed an industrial clay extruder in the centre of the space, and we're producing all of the architectural components that are necessary. Assemble is a collective of 18 members based in London, working across the fields of art and architecture and design.
We've done a variety of projects, from whole buildings to, art exhibitions.
We have a really strong interest in the process of construction and how we can have a more direct involvement in the way buildings and places are made. Grandi Workshop is a social enterprise that we set up in Liverpool as part of the wider rebuilding of a neighbourhood. It employs people in the area to make products, both for homes in Grandi, but also for sale to a broader public. A project like this is an amazing opportunity to kind of develop a more ambitious version of what that could be. The main prompt was this theme of Utopia versus Dystopia, which has been guiding the programming for the opening of ADO. So we kind of looked back at this piece of text written by William Morris, who's grandfather of the arts and crafts movement, and it's titled A Factory as It Might Be. And he describes his utopia through a place of work.
He sees it as much more of like an entire ecosystem of a place for learning, and that the workers build the factory with pleasure and decorate everything. And obviously that's not how most factories are.
He wrote that text at a point where it was kind of really the beginning of the factory production line, and the idea of having a very repetitive involvement in a certain task. That's something which he saw as a kind of dehumanizing aspect of what could be a creative process. The priority and the main output of the factory is the factory itself. It's using the building of the factory as a way of designing products which could have a wider scope. First and foremost of those is the facade cladding tiles. The idea was to just have a single machine and to have a single material. And so our machine is the extruder because it's the epitome of an automatic process. Those are the main starting points. It's quite kind of useful, very utilitarian products.
This is a toilet brush holder, some door handles, and then the spoons are quite cool as well.
Often, you'll be making a cup and it will turn into a lampshade.
This is actually a lampshade.
And I mean, that's part of the fun of it. Yeah, this kind of slightly surrealist, something it's just coming out and you have to kind of deal with it.
So over the past week, we've been firing loads of ceramic, mostly the wall tiles, which are on the front facade.
This is a kind of research and development for Grandi Workshop. And so at the end of this project, the extruder and the kiln and all of the skills that we've all picked up through this project will go back there and will be enacted in more of a version of kind of real life. We are trying to develop a better model of how a place of production can be creative and it can kind of contribute to the ongoing development of that part of the city.